When the name Carlos King is mentioned, it carries weight in the world of reality television. He's the man who created a space for truth, emotion, and the kind of raw storytelling that makes viewers feel connected to the people on screen. And when it comes to Love and Marriage Huntsville, Carlos didn't just create a show. He built a world where transparency and honesty were the foundation. But lately, that world has been shaken, and the reason has a name: Destiny Payton. The once promising reality star, known for her poise and her business hustle, is now at the center of a storm that even Carlos King didn't see coming. This isn't just another scandal. It's a fall from grace that has left fans shocked, cast members disappointed, and Carlos himself openly furious. Destiny Payton, once one of the most intriguing personalities on Love and Marriage Huntsville, now finds herself under fire for a series of legal troubles that have cast a dark shadow over her career. What started as whispers of personal struggles has now turned into headlines of arrest, identity theft, and forgery. And Carlos King isn't staying silent. Carlos made it clear, his frustration isn't just about Destiny's arrest. It's about what that arrest represents. It's about a pattern of secrecy, avoidance, and missed opportunities. For years, Carlos stood behind Destiny, believing she had something powerful to share. He saw her pain, her ambition, and her potential. But instead of opening up and using her platform to tell her story, Destiny chose silence. And now, that silence has become her biggest downfall. Carlos has always built his shows on one principle: be real or go home. It's what made Love and Marriage Huntsville such a success. The cast members opened their lives, exposed their pain, and showed the world their struggles, their growth, and their truth. But Destiny refused to do that. She smiled for the cameras, but kept her heart locked away. Carlos noticed it, the viewers noticed it, and eventually, the show couldn't carry her anymore. Behind the scenes, things were tense. Destiny was struggling, emotionally, financially, and personally. Her marriage to LAMH Williams had already ended abruptly, lasting only a few short weeks before collapsing. She was pregnant, heartbroken, and left to rebuild her life in front of the world. Carlos believed this could have been her breakthrough story, the moment she showed women everywhere that you can rise after pain. But Destiny didn't want to go there. She avoided the questions, shut down discussions, and kept her personal life tightly guarded. And now, with news of her arrest spreading across social media, Carlos's frustration has finally spilled over. When he spoke out, his tone wasn't bitter, it was disappointed. You could hear the emotion in his voice as he expressed how deeply let down he felt. Because in his eyes, Destiny had every chance to turn her life into something inspiring, something honest, something worth respecting. Instead, she chose to hide. According to reports, Destiny's legal trouble stems from 2 arrests in 2023, one for identity theft and another for forgery. Fans were stunned. The Destiny they saw on television, the one who spoke about rebuilding and independence, was now facing accusations that shattered that image. And what made it worse was the name tied to her alleged crimes: her ex-husband, LAMH Williams. The same man she once accused of abandoning her, the same man she claimed blindsided her with divorce papers, was reportedly the person who helped bring these charges to light. Allegedly, LAMH discovered irregularities in his financial accounts and, upon digging deeper, found signs pointing back to Destiny. Whether those allegations will hold up in court remains to be seen. But the damage to Destiny's public image has already been done. Her name has become tied to scandal, and her silence has left the world to assume the worst. Carlos King's reaction to this situation was raw. On his platform, he made it clear that he was deeply disappointed, not because of the headlines, but because of the dishonesty. He reminded everyone that reality television only works when people are willing to live their truth. Viewers don't expect perfection, but they expect authenticity. They connect to pain, not to pretending. And in Destiny's case, Carlos felt like she robbed the audience of that connection. He said he gave her multiple chances, opportunities to open up, to share what she was going through, to control her own story before someone else told it for her. But she refused. She kept everything behind a wall. While her co-stars, Melody Sherry, Kimmy Scott, and even Martell Holt, faced the camera and showed their real, messy, complicated lives. For Carlos, that difference was everything. Because when one cast member stops being honest, it affects the whole show. The truth is, Carlos saw the signs. He knew something wasn't right. He could sense that Destiny was hiding more than what she was letting on. But as a producer, all he could do was encourage her to talk, to trust the process, and to let the truth out in her own words. When she refused to do that, he had no choice but to let her go. When Destiny quietly disappeared from Love and Marriage Huntsville, she made it sound like it was her decision. She said she needed time to focus on her business, her family, and her personal growth. But behind the scenes, things were different. According to Carlos, it was a decision that had been building for a while. Producers were growing frustrated. Fans were losing interest. And Destiny was giving less and less of herself each season. By the time season 6 came around, it was clear she wasn't willing to play her part anymore. And now, this, an arrest, public humiliation, and a wave of criticism that shows no signs of slowing down. The same viewers who once rooted for Destiny's success are now questioning everything. They're asking how the woman who once talked about independence and integrity could end up in such a mess. And for Carlos King, it's a painful reminder of what happens when someone wastes their platform. He said something powerful. You can't sign up for reality TV and then hide reality. Those words hit hard, because that's exactly what Destiny did. She wanted the fame, the spotlight, and the support, but she didn't want to be vulnerable. She didn't want to face her truth. And now, she's facing the consequences of that choice. Destiny's story could have been different. She had everything: beauty, confidence, and charisma. She had a fan base ready to support her. She had a storyline that could have inspired countless women who faced heartbreak and started over. But instead of opening up, she built a wall. Every time someone asked real questions, she shut them down. When her co-stars tried to dig deeper, she became defensive. When the audience wanted answers, she gave attitude instead of honesty. And now, the truth has come out in the worst way possible, through police reports, court documents, and gossip blogs. Carlos didn't gloat about it. He didn't mock her downfall. If anything, you could hear the sadness in his words. Because for him, this wasn't just about Destiny. It was about wasted potential. He admitted that he once saw greatness in her. He believed she could have been one of those rare reality stars who turned pain into power. But that never happened. Instead, her story turned into a cautionary tale, a reminder that hiding from your truth doesn't protect you. It only delays the consequences. Destiny's silence cost her more than her reputation. It cost her connection with her audience. The same fans who once loved her now feel betrayed. They invested in her story, supported her business, and rooted for her growth, only to realize she'd been keeping them at arm's length the entire time. And now, with this arrest hanging over her name, those same fans are left wondering if this is why she stayed so quiet for so long. Did she know something like this was coming? Was her silence a way to protect herself from questions she couldn't answer? Whatever the reason, Carlos's disappointment says it all. She had a chance to tell her story, and she didn't take it. Behind every headline, there's a human story, and Carlos knows that better than anyone. He understands that fame is fragile, and that public judgment can be ruthless, but he also knows that redemption is possible. That's why, even in his frustration, he didn't shut the door completely. He said he still hopes Destiny learns from this, takes accountability, and finds a way to rebuild. Carlos made it clear that he doesn't hate Destiny. He's just hurt. Because he gave her a platform, he believed in her, and she didn't use it the way she should have. Instead of showing her real journey, she put up a facade. And now, the truth has come out in ways no one could control. He spoke about the responsibility that comes with reality TV, how being on camera isn't just about entertainment. It's about storytelling, transparency, and vulnerability. The audience invests in people who are honest. They'll forgive mistakes, but they won't forgive lies. And in Destiny's case, her biggest mistake wasn't what she did, it was what she didn't say. The most tragic part of this story is that Destiny's life wasn't always chaos. There was a time when she was glowing with promise. When she opened her beauty supply store, fans were proud. When she spoke about being a single mother and hustling to make ends meet, people respected her. But over time, that light dimmed. Her social media became defensive. Her interviews became cold. Her on-screen presence turned distant. Something shifted, and now the world knows why. Carlos King didn't hold back when he spoke about it. He said he's tired of reality stars who want the fame without the truth. He's tired of people using reality TV as a shield instead of a mirror. And he's not wrong. Because the same transparency that built his career is the same thing Destiny refused to give. And yet, even in the middle of this scandal, there's still one last chance for Destiny to turn things around. Reality TV loves redemption stories. We've seen people fall from grace and come back stronger than ever. The only question is, will Destiny take that chance? Will she finally speak her truth and face what she's been running from? Carlos believes the door isn't fully closed. If Destiny were to finally open up, be real, and own her truth, not a PR statement, not excuses, but real honesty, she could earn back the respect she's lost. Because as Carlos said, the audience will forgive you for anything except pretending. And that's the heart of it all. Destiny's downfall wasn't because she failed. It's because she pretended everything was fine when it wasn't. She built a wall of silence, and that silence became her undoing. Now, as she faces legal battles and public criticism, Destiny is learning the hardest lesson of all. You can't hide from the truth forever. The same cameras that once celebrated her are now capturing her lowest moments. The same fans who cheered for her are now demanding answers. And the same producer who believed in her is now calling her out. Still, Carlos's message is clear. This isn't about destroying Destiny, it's about holding her accountable. It's about reminding her and every reality star out there that fame without honesty is meaningless. Because at the end of the day, truth always wins, even if it takes time. Destiny Payton's story isn't over. It's just taken a dark turn. The woman who once said she was rebuilding from the ground up now has to start over again, not as a TV personality, but as a person learning to live in truth. If she takes responsibility, if she chooses honesty over pride, there might still be hope for her redemption. Carlos King may have blasted her decision and expressed his anger, but deep down, it's because he knows what she's capable of. He's seen stars fall and rise again. And if Destiny can face this storm with honesty, maybe she can too. But for now, her silence speaks louder than words. The world is watching. The fans are talking. And Carlos King has made his position clear. This could have all been avoided if she had just told the truth. Destiny Payton's downfall is a painful reminder that in the world of reality TV, truth isn't optional, it's everything. And when you hide it for too long, the truth will always find its way to the surface, one way or another. So as this chapter unfolds, one question remains. Will Destiny finally speak her truth? Or will her silence continue to define her story? Because as Carlos King said, you can run from the cameras, but you can't run from reality.